Why, hello everybody. This is Lance, Shane, and George.
Make it so weird, sheesh.
And what is today? I forgot the last date, about last week too. July 18th.
My goodness, we're off to a roaring start.
Yeah. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Stand. I'm your host, Shane Williams, along with George Porter and Lance Dobbs. On this 18th of July, 2017. I'm just picking up where Lance.
So
We fumbled that ball.
Yeah.
first of all, we're gonna go over the shirts that just came in.
Right. So, you guys want to stand up real quick? So George is wearing Home of the Free because of the Brave in black,
As I am.
and
Because-
Lance is in white, and then also I am
Racist.
wearing. Yeah, it's racist.
I know white can't do anything right.
Live free or die. And at the bottom it says, I forgot what I put on my own shirts. Death is not the greatest of all evils. 1776.
And these are made by Shane. Well, not.
Designed.
He didn't actually weave them, but
I designed
he
them.
designed them and he put the whole thing together.
Right.
Go to the site, buy a shirt, make Shane very happy.
It's not just me.
Well, you turn around. You gotta show the back too.
Oh yeah, and our
Our update, our logo 2.0, you should call it, stand show, has a stand and then the website down the bottom. So everywhere you go, you can point out to people where to find us, where you bought the shirt. And not only that, it's a great talking point, and you get to meet like-minded people.
and if you buy enough shirts, we can upgrade the set here and have a much nicer looking place to broadcast from.
Right.
You know, all proceeds would go straight back into the show to make a better show for everyone to see and watch.
Absolutely,
'cause
man.
we're not in this to make a profit, obviously. But we're in here to put on a great show and get the news out and the word out and help spread the word because America needs to know.
Well, and it's not just that, you know, we've already been seeing the lies from the mainstream media, including Fox, and I love how Fox and then
Well, they're-
MSNBC always claim each other as one of the opposite, you know, like, oh, well, the mainstream media referring to, you know, the opposite
they're-
party, even though they are the mainstream media. They're the ones on
I mean,
cable.
they
on,
all get caught with lies.
Exactly, man, and you know, I mean, we're not exactly perfect. We are citizen journalists. We're just doing this to inform people, and just to basically get the word out there in a I guess, a truer narrative, you know, based off what we read and everything else like that.
But
and
the
just
thing
bringing
is-
it down to you, teleprompter free and script free. So
The thing is with the mainstream media though is they will make the fake news story. It gets all the attention.
mostly CNN, by the way.
Yeah. And
Well,
then like 3 months later they'll retract it and say we were wrong. But
Yes,
by
but
that
it's
time
by
it's
the
like
time they retract it, it's in a little spot on the paper on page 12 at the bottom of the column 3.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
Or briefly mentioned actually on the broadcast.
casually, you know,
Yeah.
at
And,
3 o'clock in the morning.
oh, yeah, we
Pacific
retracted
Standard-
the Russian interference
Pacific
probe.
Standard Time when no one is watching. But the thing with the news media lately that's absolutely makes me mental is if it's and this is I want to impress on everybody. If the story starts out from a single unconfirmed source, the rest after that is BS.
Absolutely.
Okay, if someone can't go on the air and say this is given to us by this FBI chief or this operative or whatever, then it's a lie. The first rule of journalism is get two sources, confirm it before you go with it. And now they just use an unconfirmed source
Every time.
It's code for what I'm about to tell you is a lie.
Right, absolutely.
But we're going to call it the truth and we're going to run with it if it's juicy enough.
Or no, what they're going to tell you is what they want to think is right.
I think they make stuff up. I think 3, 4, 10 guys sitting in a cubicle somewhere at CNN brainstorm on some crazy idea. Let's see. Let's make up a story where Trump is actually from another planet. Let's see if they'll buy that because collusion hasn't worked. You know,
But they're still
actually,
trying.
Yeah.
they're still trying, and God bless them because it makes it so much fun to watch the news because they're such retards, and they just go on and on and on. And even a casual observer at this point has got to go,
There has to be something up with this.
yeah, I mean,
It has to be.
well, Project
Well-
Veritas proved that they were. It was,
Veritas, yeah.
that-
I mean, the CNN guy, like the director, was like,
He's
Yeah,
like,
the
we're going
producer,
with
he
collusion.
was
We're
the
going with
producer.
collusion. All, you know.
Two of the main producers were caught saying exactly the same thing, that the narrative was pushed by their bosses so then they can just get ratings.
Right, it's
You
all
know,
the rating
it's
thing.
ratings. So
'Cause-
then, because the actual station is going down faster than they can,
Well,
They
build it
dropped to
back
like
up.
rank
Well,
13.
Yeah, prior to
Well,
the collusion thing, they were 13th. They were behind Nickelodeon in their time slot.
Well, yeah, they still are. I'm about
Well-
to say, what was it? With Bob Saget, what was that one called?
America's Funniest Home
No,
Videos.
no, Full House.
Full House.
Full House beat them in ratings. This thing's been off for years.
Full House is a 20-year-old show in syndication was beating them in the ratings. But since they've been pushing the Russian collusion thing, their ratings have gone up because, in a weird sort of way, it's salacious.
Yeah.
That's all what it's all about. I can't really blame them because I don't think they hate Trump so much as they're just trying to save their jobs at this
Exactly,
point. It's
exactly.
got to be a little bit of a mix of both. They hate Trump, and now they can
Well-
save their job. They can do both at the same time.
I would say probably like 8 hours a day they're talking about Trump.
8.
Well, no,
I read
it's
I read
at
a
least
thing
a
where
good solid
97% of their coverage was Trump negative and only 3% was Trump positive.
Right.
On the
No,
entire.
no, I'm just saying in general, like
Well, in
without their other stories or shows or whatever.
Yeah, well, I tried to watch because in all fairness, I tried to watch some of the other shows.
It's just very hard to do.
I
folks.
tried to
It's
watch-
very hard to do, honestly.
I tried to watch Rachel Maddow,
Rachel.
or as I like to call her,
Radell?
Rabid Mad Cow, because she is just out of her mind.
Yes.
I watched.
I think she does it on purpose at this
It
point.
must be. It must be because.
Well, she has to beat Megyn Kelly in ratings, so.
I think
here's
she
the
already
thing.
did, though. That's the thing. Megyn Kelly, after doing the
She sunk herself.
Alex Jones interview, really sank herself because even her own constituents were like, "Why are you giving this time? Why are you giving this guy the time of day?"
Well,
You know?
What I found most amazing by Rachel Maddow's show is that I'd always wondered whatever happened to Fred Savage, because apparently that's where he's at now. Because he was the little boy on the Wonder Years, and
Right.
he grew up, and it looks just like him. So I'm not sure.
Oh, you talking about the other guy with
no,
the
I'm talking about
glasses?
Rachel Maddow. She looks like Fred Savage from the Wonder Years, all grown up,
same haircut and everything.
same haircut and everything. You know,
Oh,
I expect her to go. I'm looking for Winnie Cooper. Now I know I'm dating myself. Some of the people out there who don't know this
I used
show.
to watch Wonder Years, man. I know.
I love the show. It was great. But yeah, that's all I could think of. Was like, she's nuts and she looks like Fred Savage.
I don't see it, but that's cool, man. But anyways,
Sorry, I didn't mean to take us off the rails there. Just something.
no, it's fine. Oh my.
But no,
Fred
I tried
Savage.
to watch some of the CNN shows because I wanted to see if it was as crazy as I had heard, and it's crazier than
Well,
I heard.
it's crazier. I'm gonna keep talking. I just gotta fix something. But Don Lemon, or however you say his name, that guy is something else, man.
I didn't see any of him. I did hear also that Morning Joe, the Republican on
Oh, yeah,
MSNBC.
he's announced Republican.
Yeah, he decided to join or leave the
Democrats.
Republican Party. You know what? I did good because
I didn't
quite
even know
honestly,
you were a part of it.
If he
John
was
McCain
Republican,
just needs to follow.
yeah, John McCain.
That's George's best friend, by the way,
I
McCain.
don't like McCain. He's a. I'd like
But
to say
he was a pal.
a pal.
Pal.
A POW, and you know,
More power to him. But at the
I'm
same
glad
time,
he made it out. I mean, I can only imagine the horrors that no one should ever go through, but it doesn't change the fact that he's not a Republican. He is at best a small D Democrat, at worst a large D, capital D.
I don't know what.
I don't
I'd
know.
say he's
what-
large D now.
At this point,
He makes more work and has more of a voice in the Republican Party as a Democrat.
well, he's the best man on the Democratic team.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's the best player because I mean he does
He
more
starts
damage.
grabbing other Republicans,
Yeah,
and
he does
he's
more-
cracked the party.
Yeah, he does more damage to the Republican Party than any Democrat can do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you're paid off by a whole bunch of people to do certain things, that's what happens.
I don't know
So-
if it's paid off. I think it's his time as a POW
Just
that
really
it has-
twisted his
it
views.
has twisted his view. Now, granted, he has a unique perspective on the world. I have to give him that. I can't imagine what your worldview is after you've been stuck in a tiger cage up to your chin in water for 5 years or whatever they did to him. I mean, he's got infirmity and damage to his body.
Yeah.
I get it, but I guess in a strange way that can change your worldview. Now, granted, I can't see the world as he does. Of course, I'm not a senator who spends my day in the Senate
Scheming
cafeteria
against
and the
America.
Senate barbershop. I'm forced to use Obamacare, which senators are not forced to use.
They're not forced to use anything.
Well, no, they
They
actually
just have their own.
they have their own, and they just passed a law.
Thank you.
That
Thank you
exempts
for
them
bringing that up.
Exempts them again from whatever they come up with. I'm kind of getting tired of senators living a much
So-
better life than everybody else.
Trump just, or well, if we want to get into the whole healthcare thing right now.
A little bit. It's so hard to deal with that nonsense.
It's
a tough topic.
It is and it isn't. You know, everybody thinks that healthcare is a right. You know, I don't know how you guys feel.
I don't think it's
Okay,
a right.
we have to change one thing, and this is one thing that makes
Right.
my ears hurt. It's not about health care. This whole thing is not about health care. This whole thing is about health insurance.
Yes.
Insurance. Yes.
Everybody gets health care. If I fall down and break a leg, I get to go to the emergency room. They will treat me. They will cast it. They will splint it. Whatever they got to do. They'll x-ray it. They'll give me the whole thing. They'll treat me and send me on my way. The difference is, it's not free.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
not
what they
free.
want. They want it to be free. Everybody gets health care. It's just that, and like anything else in this world, if you buy something, you have to pay for it.
But the prices are so outrageous at hospitals.
Well,
Because
that's
they're-
where your insurance comes in, and that's the biggest issue. Why is the insurance company raping
It's-
the American people?
It's
you
because
know?
the insurance companies have deals set up with hospitals,
Exactly.
so everything is.
Well,
Exactly.
the Medicare thing got the fraud thing
something
going,
like-
and that got the prices up.
Yeah.
So, I want to, I thought about this the other day, and I didn't bring the props I was going to bring because I didn't know if I was going to cover it or even talk about it. But basically, it's a way to explain to everybody how this insurance thing can be fixed in an afternoon if the Republicans would just do it. Now, those of us who are old enough to remember old telephones, rotary phones,
Yeah.
bolted on the wall, can only get as far away from your phone as the cord.
Yes.
Before these things. These, if let's assume this is insurance. This is insurance on the free market. That old push button crap Ma Bell AT&T
Gone.
thing stuck on your wall, that's insurance run by the government. Do you want free market insurance, or do you want insurance from the government that has brought you the DMV and the VA?
Right.
You know, this is free market. This is capitalism. This is what everyone forgets. This iPhone does things Spock couldn't imagine. On the, you know, it
Well,
just.
it surpassed the technology that got us to the moon.
Oh, are
supposedly.
you kidding? There's more computing power on this
That's what
phone
I'm
than there
saying.
was in NASA. My point is, this is unabated, free market. If I think they should just repeal Obamacare completely, just completely
Well,
erase it from the
that's
map.
what Trump wanted.
And here's why.
Yeah.
Because what'll happen? See, now you're in a younger group. You don't need insurance as bad as I do.
Like, I haven't personally gone to the doctor in 4 years.
Yeah, I probably go.
Wow.
I go twice a month at least.
Look,
I'm going and going. What's this, doc? What's this? This hurts. This doesn't work right. You know, constantly because
I'm
that's
getting
my
there.
age, that's
I'm
my
getting there.
age group.
Yeah.
So I need insurance. So if it was free market, they will make an insurance policy for you. Even if you don't want one, they'll make one. They're like, oh, this policy is so cheap. It's perfect for you.
'Cause you
They're
don't
gonna make
know.
one for you. They're like, this one is for you. It
Yeah,
covers
you're
kids.
in the
It's-
middle.
It
you
covers
know?
families. It's a little bit more expensive, but you get a lot more for it. For me, they'll make a program, a policy for me, and we'll buy it if we need it.
Right.
And
I
if
have
you,
it through my company, so
that's because your company, you're allowed to buy it as a group. But let's say you didn't have a job where you didn't have insurance,
Right.
and
You're out
but
there
you
on your
wanted
own.
some. There's an insurance company out there that say, you know, there's probably a 21 to 27-year-old male out there, unmarried, needs insurance. I'll make him a policy.
Yeah.
And I'll make it affordable, so he wants to buy it. They'll make a better product if it's free market.
Right. Exactly. There will always be that competition amongst each other.
Yeah,
you
because
know?
if you're insurance company A and you're insurance company B, and I'm the guy who's looking for insurance, and yours is a little more expensive and yours has better coverage, I'm gonna go with him. And you're like, wait a minute, I lost that sale. I better tighten up my shop group a little bit and make a better product. That's what the free market does. It makes people build a better product.
not the blanket of Obamacare.
No, that blanket smothers you,
Yeah, it kills you actually.
and when it's not smothering you, it makes you carry the weight of everybody else.
But the thing is, like, it blanketed insurance companies, and all those insurance companies were like, we can't handle this, and it left
That's
the
because they were
states.
making you pay for policies for me.
Right.
And you don't want to because in your age group you don't need insurance. I need insurance. That's the difference. They were forcing you to pay it or to own insurance to cover me, but a lot of the younger generations weren't doing it, and so there wasn't enough money to make insurance for me. So then my insurance policy went through the roof.
Right. Exactly. And to also cover it, they took out all the Social Security for everybody.
But I swear, if they just went back to the free market like it used to be, it would fix itself. Because some young entrepreneur, insurance guy out there will go, I'll make a policy that will sell because I don't have to do it a certain way anymore. I can be creative.
Right.
And that's what government stops. Government slams down and destroys creativity in the business world.
It really does. And it's not because they want to do it. It's just the nature of the beast.
Like I said,
You know?
who would you rather build you a building? The government or a contractor who's been doing it for years? under budget and or cost.
That sort of sounds like what Trump says.
Yeah, that's not the whole thing. But see, that's the difference. He's a guy who's like, I can get A, B, and C done, and they'll get done in a certain way that's profitable.
Like
the government's like, how much money you got? We'll spend it all.
So this whole healthcare thing, and the Republicans not passing it, and then they tried to do a last-minute repeal of Obamacare, and that failed.
Right.
Hasn't do anything with Trump.
Nothing.
But the blame will always come back on him, no matter what.
Well, it's because he's the de facto leader of the Republican Party. Even though they won't say he is, he's always going to be the president. Is in charge of the party.
Yes.
But he's just saying, no healthcare stuff. Just let Obamacare run its course and just die out, and then we'll make something new once everything's failed.
The problem is that there's a group of people out there that want it to fail so they can bring in single payer. They want the government. Obamacare was designed to crush itself under its own weight. Mm-hmm. So they go, well, look, it doesn't work. The only thing we got left is use the government. That was the design since the beginning, was to crush the insurance companies, and when there's no way to cover us, the government would step in and go, we can fix it, which is the Democrats' playbook forever. They regulate something into destruction. They regulate something until it's broken, and then they come and say we're the only ones that can fix it.
Right, exactly. I mean, the architect of the damn thing, Jonathan Gruber, says everybody's so stupid.
Yeah.
You know, because otherwise it wouldn't have got passed.
Well, that was the passing part. He basically said the American public's so dumb. We sold them a bill of goods. And that's the only way we could make it work is if we lied to them. And they admit that they lied to us about it. I mean,
multiple times. Obama, on multiple interviews, lied blatantly in front of the
If you like your
public.
doctor, you can keep your doctor.
Oh, yeah, that was the biggest thing.
Yeah. In our case, if you like that giant skin cancer, you get to keep that giant skin cancer.
Yeah, because no one else wants to touch that.
Because you're not going to get any coverage. And you can't go to a doctor.
I mean, come on, man.
So when Obamacare finally does fail, since Republicans can't make a deal on whether or not what they want to do,
their own worst enemy, you know.
And they even extended they took off 2 weeks of their vacation, their summer break.
Well, I'm always torn when Congress takes a vacation. I love it when they're not there passing laws. Because nobody is safe when Congress is in session.
But
I think they're just running away from a problem.
Well, they always do. They're postponing the problem. So when they finally come back, you know, something else would come up. They're
hoping
that's
something else
pressing.
is in the news, yes.
Yeah, that's pressing and they have to take care of it.
You already know the Republican Party is split. Like, McCain has like 3, 4, 5, I think up to 8 is what they were saying, senators that are following him. So when you have 48 Democrats, 8 McCain people,
right?
It only leaves you like 30-something people.
Right.
Well, the problem is Washington and the Republicans up there. The Republican mindset for the regular population, for those of us who are kind of Republican conservative, we are rugged individuals. We don't like to be told what to do. We don't like groups. But up there in Washington, which is the wealthiest city in the world, there's more money going through Washington than anywhere else on the planet.
So lobbyists.
Well, if you ask me, it's very similar to Versailles in Paris right before their revolution, where everybody lived outside the capital and lived an opulent lifestyle and just kind of decided what the people would have to put up with. But like McCain and some of the others, they are not there to serve us. They are obviously up there to serve themselves.
Right.
Because they may have difference of opinions on how to serve us, but
they no longer care about people.
They don't even know how we live. They have no idea.
Right.
When you go to your own cafeteria, your own barber, you've got a subway.
You're isolated.
When you've got a subway from your workplace to your residence in D.C., when you've got all the perks on the planet, how can you possibly know what some poor guy in Garden Grove waiting for a bus feels like?
Yeah.
You have no idea. He cannot possibly serve the citizens if he lives better than all of them.
Right, exactly.
So how does Trump get anything done with Congress just being like...
I think he needs to get a little bit more...
Did you hear what he said just today?
No, I haven't really been on the news
He says
today.
he wants to take out he wants to just go to a majority vote in the Senate.
Well, that's the way I think it should be. It should be...
Instead of the 60 vote.
Well, I don't know where the 60 vote thing came from, and I know there's a filibuster issue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know what? I think it should be majority rules. I mean, that's the Democrats have been shoving that down our throats for 25 years.
Obama put that in place. It's called that nuclear option.
Yes.
Yes.
And Trump is saying we need to use it.
Well, the
put it into place.
the Democrats will blow a gasket because they hate having their rules that they insisted on used against them.
Right, absolutely.
I mean, they hate the Constitution until it serves their purpose.
But Trump's like, we'll use Obama's thing.
Exactly. Well, then good. Knock it out of the park. You should do it.
Just be, you only need 51 votes.
I don't know why
instead
that's
of
a
60.
problem anyway.
Majority rules, right? Well, the thing is, the whole thing about the 60 things is the 60 vote is it protects minorities. Is what they're calling it. It's minority protector. So when they
In the Senate,
The face says it all, man.
I cannot play poker.
so if they blow it to just majority, I guess minorities will lose.
Well, do you mean is like minority voices in the Senate, not actual?
Yeah, minority voices in the Senate, like that McCain 8 or whatever. It's
Yes. Yeah. Well, I mean, Cruz came out with a good idea, and nobody will touch it.
Of course not.
Because it was a good idea.
Yeah.
Because,
So-
well, in the Senate, you still have approve, declined, or present. So,
And half of them are never there anyways.
That's because they're in their little cafeterias getting their hair cut by the congressional barber.
Right.
I was reading on some of the perks they have, and it's just everybody out there, I highly recommend you get on the internet and look at some of the perks our lawmakers get in D.C. It will blow your mind.
like, so when I was in Europe last year, I actually watched a couple of UK's parliaments.
I don't quite understand how theirs work. It's a lot of yelling.
It is
So-
like, yeah.
Yeah, they have
I mean, it's
their-
very entertaining though.
I don't know what's going on, but it's very entertaining.
If you're up late night, you can't sleep. Find the British Parliament or YouTube it or whatever.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It really
Like,
gets crazy.
so-
One guy's yelling clear across the room, and then the prime minister has to respond, and
Yeah.
he's yelling back at him, and
So
then all of a sudden,
I'll
you
give
know.
an example. So one of the members of their parliament stands up, says a question. He sits down, and then when he sits down, the
Prime Minister.
prime minister stands up, replies to it immediately. Like, doesn't just be like, okay, good. No, he stands
Yeah.
up, gives a reply, sits back down, and then anyone that agreed with him or whoever had the question
This is where it gets
stands
crazy.
up and
Yeah.
all in
Unison?
unison in confirmation of it, and then they'll sit back down, and then another person will stand up and have a question or some policy or whatever.
Wow.
Then the UK Prime Minister will stand up, he addresses them, answers it, sits back down. Everybody that agrees with it stands up,
Wow, it sounds like government at
It's
work
like-
and a leg workout.
and it's quick.
Yeah.
Like, you
What's
get the
with all that
answer.
rah, 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 rah? You always hear the background. All that grumbling. What's all that? Is that them all agreeing or disagreeing?
That's all probably the people disagreeing.
Yeah, it's
or just like, I don't want to talk about it, or just, I'm not going to stand up.
Poppycock.
Yeah, I don't.
So, I mean,
I love
they're-
it, but I don't get it. It's like their football.
Yeah.
I don't just. Don't
They
understand.
stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down. But it's like constant. And
Yeah.
like when someone asks a question, you know the prime minister or president of their area. Or
So you mean they don't have like a Maxine Waters that gets up there and rambles on for 20
no,
minutes?
no,
and-
shut her up.
Yeah.
They'd be like, sit down, let the prime minister talk.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to say we should adopt some of those principles, but we can.
Limit
Does-
how long they talk.
Yeah, because I watched C-SPAN.
Like they don't have a filibuster there. There's no filibuster.
Well,
in the
nobody
UK
talks long
Parliament.
enough. It sounds like. Sounds like they talk for 5
No,
seconds.
you have your question and it's answered. The president has to answer it, like right then.
Well, have you ever watched C-SPAN late at night and
Yeah.
there's one guy and he's like, and he's rambling on, blah blah blah, into the microphone, and they'll pan back and he's by himself.
Right. Well, that's the majority of the Congress. When they're issuing statements or whatever else they have, it's always the majority or minority? One of the. Well, somebody has to be there just to say, yeah, I'm here, I'm acknowledging you.
It's probably
And
the
then-
minority speaker.
Yeah, exactly. So, it's when it comes down to it, and you really look at it, you're like, this is what's really happening in our Congress and Senate. They're just listening to each other in these echo chambers.
Like
you
yeah,
know?
or it's an echo chamber. Exactly what you said. Like Congress,
Yeah.
how many members are there? Like 500 something.
Something like that. Yeah.
But they don't do anything.
They don't do
I
anything.
don't want them to do anything. Every time they do something, we just feel the brunt of it.
Right.
So there's part of me that's happy that they're up there talking to themselves.
But when the senators, when they start voting on stuff, they send a person up. They can stand there as long as they can stand there.
Yeah, that's the filibuster thing.
It's horrible. And then like, you'll see people, they'll get up there and they'll read books.
Yeah, I watched one clip. I don't remember who it was. The guy was just reading the newspaper.
Yeah, they'll just read.
Well, you remember
read and read.
Yeah, well, I
Like,
mean,
when they
although
were-
Ted Cruz and
Paul-
Rand Paul,
yeah.
they were actually filibustering the I forgot, but it was a really good one. They went as long as they could. I think it was for Second Amendment. I believe. I'm not too sure,
I
but
do remember him doing
But
some
they
filibuster.
just
Yeah.
they just did it not too long ago when the Gorsuch thing was getting
Exactly.
appointed.
Well, that was
they
the
filibustered
gems,
for
yeah.
three days.
Exactly.
They just went up there. You can even watch the videos. They were like laying down in front of the
I
speaker,
remember
just
that.
on the
I
ground,
remember
like
that.
sleeping. It's like,
Oh, that's-
these are your senators.
Well, wasn't there
in
a while
Congress.
back the what was his name? Was it Waters? No. It was the. I'm sorry. He's the older black gentleman with the bald head. He's always on the Democratic.
Yeah, he
committee.
was the first one to say
think
the
he was the one
impeach
out of
stuff or
Georgia.
whatever.
Yeah,
But
I
he says
can't-
it every couple
can't
days.
remember
He's
his
like,
name
he
offhand.
gets up in front of Congress and
Yeah, he was
starts
one up there that
taunting
they laid
impeach.
down on the floor in there, and they kind of took it over and decided they weren't going to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
disgusting. Anyways, let's switch gears. But before we do that, recently over the weekend there was a rally at the courthouse here in Las Vegas. Pretty much going for the Bundys in their latest court trial, round 2. Pretty much, we had our
Well-
correspondent out there, Joe Smith. We really do appreciate having you out there, Joe, covering that. Even though it was mostly just Patriots who showed up and none of the opposition, which is always a good thing. And just want to do that little mention. And then of course our shirts are coming in. We're going to be changing up the store that's currently on the website stanshow.com, just so we can get the prices down lower.
It's because they charge too much, and this is capitalism. So
Right, exactly.
Right.
So
Exactly.
we got the shirts at a lower cost, which means you will get the shirts at a lower cost, and then it helps support the broadcast, and you can support the liberty movement as well. So it's I think it's a great design. I don't know who designed them, but pretty.
well, we did this in the beginning of the show.
I think his name was Shane Williams, but I'm not too sure. But
You have your shirt too, there, bud.
Yeah, designing them is one thing, but modeling is where it really counts.
so George, if you take a stand up for the camera, then.
Yeah. Well, the camera adds 10 pounds, and apparently there's 4 or 5 cameras on me.
Wow. But his
Well,
shirt
then
says.
how many are on Shane?
All of them.
Thank you. Thank you. But anyways, we're working on the store to update all that and get off that Zazzle site, which is, not very good for either you or us. And we're going to create our own store. So look out for that. That'll be coming up shortly, along with all the designs currently. Right now we have 3 going to be printed, which is Home of the Free because of the Brave, Liberty or Death, and then the one that you always see us wear is
Liberty or death? Was it the one with the
This
snake?
Oh no, this
This
one's
one
Live Free
and,
or Die. Sorry, Live Free or Die.
Don't
Sorry,
do that.
The other one's
I
Don't
just
Do
got. I literally just got back from picking up the shirt, so I'm a bit tired. I do apologize, but this one's Live Free or Die. Evil is not the greatest of death is not the greatest of all evils. And then Liberty or Death, Don't Tread on Me. That's the ones you've seen us wear for quite a while now. And then the ones that are coming up, I'm thinking we have the Mullen Lobby printed out. And then also, one other one. Can't think of it. But anyways, look out for those designs on the site. We'll be wearing the shirts so we can, George can model them for us.
Because we want them to sell.
Right. And like I said, the money goes right back into the broadcast and, supports the Liberty Movement.
None of us are out there buying groceries on that, so it
Yeah.
all comes back right here, and as it shows.
Right, exactly. That's
No
so nice.
expense spared for production around here.
No, exactly.
So, we'll just say a final word on the healthcare thing. Not Democrats, the Republicans split. They're not going to pass anything for a while until they figure out what they're doing.
And my opinion on the thing is, I think everybody call somebody, call your congressman, call whoever will listen to you, and say repeal it.
Right,
A clean
absolutely.
repeal, like
Clean repeal.
I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to the commercials out here. Just real quick caveat on that. But the Democrats have been targeting Senator Heller out here.
unmercifully.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
on the radio at all times.
And TV, radio, printed materials. And so we do have that opposition as well. So
It's so bad This is a little side note again. It's so bad. I was playing a game on my phone while I was waiting for an appointment, and a pop-up ad popped up, and it was, "Tell Senator Heller not to take away our health care." They have obviously there's a lot of money behind it, and they're really
Yes.
pressuring this. I don't know anything about the guy. I've never I don't pay too close attention to local politics, but he's got to be taking some heat. So call him, tell him you support him. Tell him you're on his side.
Right, exactly.
Whatever you can.
I
May
mean,
not help, but it might do him
But
some
the
good.
Senate can't even get it passed, so I mean, it will never get to Trump
Yes,
at this
right.
point.
Yeah, well, I think, you know what? I heard Trump say something. He says, we're going to have some surprises come up pretty soon. I can't tell you about them right now, but it's going to be a surprise. I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if he pens a little executive order on this one.
he might. You never know. You never know.
Just Trump's
He might trump the whole thing.
done.
So, anyways,
move
moving
on.
Yeah, I'm talking about moving on. Talk about geez, I can't talk. President Trump's Made in America campaign, which he currently has going on in the White House. If anybody's seen any footage of this, I mean, it's pretty amazing.
It's supposed to be like 2 weeks.
Right, exactly. And he has products from every company that manufactures goods or produces goods here in America.
When's the last time anybody has done this? For
Never,
the president?
never.
No one has
Never.
ever. No one has ever
I mean,
trumpeted
to
America
have
first.
to have a expo of products that are made in America to really show, hey, this is what you're buying. This is a American-made product like Polaris. How many people knew that Polaris was made in America?
No,
I did.
none.
Well, okay, well, except for
Well,
Lance.
because I know the brand.
But I just point that out. Or he tried on a Stetson hat, which is a very popular cowboy hat brand.
But you have to realize that no administration in my memory has ever done anything like this. Because it's always been, we have to be diverse. We have to spread around the wealth. We have to make sure that some poor peasant in
He's doing
Guatemala
exactly-
is putting together shoes that go in the cop's uniform or whatever it might be. You know what? Let's make everything here.
Right.
And you know what that does for the country?
We all have jobs.
And increases exports.
Yes, because then once we have enough jobs, we have enough materials, we're all making money, then we can start to export our products to other countries. that
Because
might-
we've been consuming like no other. Our import is through the roof in comparison to our export.
From the 70s and 80s, because there used to be a thriving steel industry in this
Yes.
country.
Oh, yeah.
Now, the only industry that's thriving in this country is the service industry, which means there's a bunch of us waiting tables. There's a bunch of us bussing, bartenders, doing stuff for people who have money, who most of them are in tech. That's where the money comes from.
Right.
But they tried to turn us into
Service
industry, and we need to produce things, because a country that only provides a service, and I've been in the service business before, and I've provided a service, and when no one wants that service, you're out of a job, and it takes almost nothing for someone to say, I want to go over here for this service.
Right.
But if you make a great product, again, capitalism, these are the perfect example, people will buy them,
Right.
no matter what. How many big smartphone companies are there? Just a couple.
Only a couple. That's
Yeah.
it.
Because they're
and then
so
you have,
competitive.
Then you have the right.
But if
Exactly.
there's 3 busboys out there,
just
all you
pay-
need,
What does
you
it
just
matter?
pay, you
They're all
hire
the
the one
same.
that you can pay the least to.
Yeah, they're pretty much the same person. They can be orange, blue, and yellow for
Yeah, but my point is we cannot be turned into a service nation because there's no long-term future in it.
Right, exactly. And our strength will actually it's actually been decreasing
Well, it's
over the
'cause
years.
of that Paris climate thing.
Right, exactly.
I mean, when that took place, you can't have any coal mines in your country
Right, but now
Unless
look
you're
at us.
China.
Well, yeah, or
because they
India.
didn't have a limit for the next
Yeah.
10 years.
All right.
China or India, and their power plant productions went through the roof.
see, that's-
So much so, without regulating the power plants as far as emissions coming out of it, that China you can't even see 5 feet in front of you some
Well, I've
days.
seen pictures from China, and
Right.
I thought there was like a forest fire down the street, but that's just their daily smog.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it goes back to what I said a few minutes ago. India and China, the whole thing is, well, we won't put any coal mine restrictions on them because
They need to
they're
produce.
burgeoning and young, and they're trying to catch up with evil America. So we'll handicap America and provide benefits for other countries so that it's all fair and even. The world does not like fair.
No.
The animal kingdom is a good example. There's no such thing as fair.
So-
you can't run fast, you're breakfast.
And I'll give you an
Or
example. So lions, when they come across other lion cubs,
They
Yeah.
eat them.
they don't eat them. They'll just kill them.
Just kill
and
them.
then they'll keep walking.
Yeah, well, that's when a lion takes over a pride, he goes in and he kills all the cub,
males.
all the males of the previous leader of the pack, because he doesn't want that line to continue.
Exactly.
But when it comes to capitalism and the free market, only the strong should survive. And if we're going to be global, which I mean the world has gotten a lot smaller, if China and India want to play with the big boys, then you have to play by the same rules.
Right.
If all you got is coal, then you better learn how to make nuclear power.
Yeah.
You better figure something else out. I'm pretty sure China can whip up some hydroelectrical dams pretty quickly. They got a lot of.
Do they have
rivers.
nukes there yet?
I know
China?
I don't know if China does have nukes yet. I don't know if they have nuclear power. I know France. Here's the thing. It's something I noticed when I traveled to Europe, and I went down one of the high-speed rails, and I saw power plant after power plant after power plant going from Germany to Paris.
Right.
I counted no less than 6 or 7 nuclear power plants, and it got me thinking. And when I got home, I looked it up. Since 1983, in this country, we have built a whopping 0 nuclear power plants.
So it's the old ones that just keep
Oh yeah.
crumbling.
Now in France, they have built 63 nuclear power plants since 1984, I think it was. Where was Greenpeace during all that time? They were only here fighting nuclear power in America, nowhere else in the world.
Well,
Why
exactly.
is France better at nuclear power than we are? We friggin' invented it.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's not about the power plant.
It's about
And
the control.
It's about hamstringing America at every step, so that all the other countries
Can
can
catch
feel
up.
better about themselves. You know what? You're the limping gazelle at this point.
Right.
You know, and they've been trying to hamstring us so that we can't, compete. Well, I think Trump has said that's all nonsense. We're going to compete, and
Well,
this
he wants to run the country like a business.
and that's what will make you successful. If you run it like if you run it like
A socialist communist country.
yeah, socialist,
Maybe, I don't know.
On feelings. If you run the country on feelings,
you're going to die.
yes.
Right. Because nobody cares about feelings
That
at the end of
jackal
the day.
that's watching you limp through the jungle, he doesn't care about your feelings.
He's
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
kill you.
He's going to eat you.
He's hungry.
And China and India and all those other countries, even Germany and England, if we fail, they will take up the slack. They will consume us, and we'll wind up listening to their rules and regulations.
Yeah, no.
And so,
sorry.
as far as this whole Paris Accords thing, that to me was the single greatest thing he's done so far is pull out of that.
Well, that
because
TTP.
it basically
Yeah.
told the world, America, you can't have any of the cool stuff the rest of the world can.
Right.
And I want to note one thing that he did there was everybody else, every leader in the country or every leader in the world that was there,
Yeah.
wore the
Safety pin?
Paris Treaty
Oh.
Agreement pin. Trump was like, "F that! I'm aware of
He wore a
American
flag.
flag."
He wore an American flag. Yeah, like you know what?
And then if you look at pictures, like there are pictures where everybody's just like looking at him and Melania or Ivanka, like.
Well,
How
here's the
dare
thing.
they?
You
I
know,
know.
the more the left hates him, the more I know he's doing a good job.
Well, and that's why I tell people, like, why do you hate Trump? Oh, the stuff he says. Okay, I can partly agree with it. But why else, And it's just like, well, look at him. Everybody hates him. Exactly the point, You can always judge a man by his enemies, And that's the biggest thing. And it's he has a lot, apparently. He has a pope going against him. He has the ex-president, rallying the quote-unquote resistance along with crooked Hillary, And it's
Well,
just...
because their party's falling apart.
Well, exactly. And they want to be the resistance. Folks, we've been the resistance, the right-wing party, the conservatives really have been the resistance all this time, and they want to take our say,
Well, here's the thing: if you're a conservative, you're always resisting government, no matter who it is, even if
Exactly.
it's ours. I resist our government. I don't want
I
government
want
control.
small government.
Small. I want it as small as I never thought I'd be a Senator Ron Paul kind of guy.
Rand Paul or Ron Paul?
Both. Well,
Both.
Ron
Well,
was a little harder to take. The dad.
Yes.
He was a little harder to take because I
The
thought he was.
Ron Paul Revolution.
Yeah, that was a little hard. I didn't quite. His whole view on the world was a little. I didn't care for. His son is a little bit more pragmatic, and I like the way he talks. He doesn't seem to be quite so on the fringe as his dad was. I get their names confused because, but yeah, I'm
But
kind
they
of.
got the same message.
Yeah, they got
almost.
the same message. One's just a little bit more for lack of a better term, a little more sophisticated than the other one, a little less kooky. His dad was a little more tinfoil hat to me.
I sort of like that though, you know.
To a point, but
We know what you like, so.
but but at the end of the day, we resist large government no matter whose it is, even if it's ours, even if we
Right.
agree with it, even if it was Trump. If he started doing things that were outside the boundaries that I felt comfortable with,
No.
yeah, I'll be ahead of the crowd saying no. But right now, if he'll run it like a business, if he will make the country profitable, which means it,
Everybody wins, man.
Reagan had a thing that they hated. They hated trickle down economics, but
But
it
it
works.
works.
It absolutely works. I'll give you an example. If I had a better job, I'd buy more things. If I buy more things, the store that I go to, they'll
Gets
buy
more money.
They get more money. They'll hire more employees. So if there's 100 of me, it's going to generate 5 more guys at the store.
And then those 5 guys will
They'll
pay
spend
and
more money,
stuff.
and they're going to go to the convenience store down the road, and they're going to buy more sodas. And then pretty soon the guy at the place is like, hey, I need more help because I got people here all day long buying soda. And you know what? It's up to us.
It really is.
Yeah.
It absolutely is. You know,
But it's
and
also up to us to make sure we get better jobs and we increase our lifestyle. There was this big greed and wealth is bad phase,
right. Well, it's still going on.
but it's not. You know what?
So-
You know what wealth gets you? Everything.
There was a thing that they just busted, the largest healthcare fraud, just I think last week.
Really? Where was it at?
I'd have to look it up, but it was the largest bust of healthcare fraud, and it had to deal with like
Is it Obamacare fraud, basically? Because
welfare fraud. I'll look it up real quick though.
Right.
Well, welfare. I mean,
but-
they were selling food stamp cards for
I can
years.
I can go to North Las Vegas right now and buy $200 worth of food stamps.
For like
You
50
know,
bucks or
for
whatever.
$50, for $400.
I'll get that number from you after when we're off the air.
You don't have to get the number, man. They're all down the street.
Well, I want to go to the right guy. I don't want to get ripped off.
But continuing with Made in America campaign, it just feels so fulfilling as a true patriot myself to see products that are actually made and showcased, in the White House, man. And never. It's just so amazing to me. You know, it's like here's everything that we build. Well, not everything, but majority of things. I mean, they had stuff on the lawn and vehicles and other products, and it's just
getting it out. The
yeah,
word.
exactly.
It's
But
all about
that's a good thing. You know what
franchising.
that is? That's also promotion. That's
Promotion,
also what business.
exactly.
It's advertising. He's basically telling everybody out there, "I am thinking of you."
And he's advertising America.
Yes, and he's in business. See, America needs to be in business. We really, I think,
That's one reason why I voted for him, because he was a businessman.
yes,
And
he
outside
wasn't-
of the establishment.
and he wasn't a politician because
you know?
if you watch the news and you hear what the Republicans are doing and this whole back to the healthcare thing and the whole repeal and replace, they're still the establishment. They're
Right.
still voting based on what gets them the pork or gets them the best deal. They're not voting
The
because
dollars,
If
man.
they were voting it for us, they would have repealed it immediately. And was it just 2 years ago? They sent it to Obama's desk, a clean repeal. And of course, he didn't sign it. And all these senators, especially the 3 that decided they were going to vote against it this time,
I think there's more than 3 at that
well, they
this
had
point.
3 that I heard. They actually had quotes of them saying, "This is a great bill. You got to do it." The bill is worded exactly the same as it was 2 years ago when they all said it was a great idea. There's nothing to change. Why won't they vote yes now? Because now it's time to put up or shut up.
It's because they're under money. There's people lobbying on them, and they got to vote a certain way.
Right. But here's the thing: what they don't understand is that the people out here, all of us, we pay attention. Now, it's one thing if you vote on something that veers off the rails and is a bad vote.
And this is what you call swamp.
Yeah. But it's another thing if you vote on something and then later you vote against it for no apparent reason. If you had voted for something as a senator and it turned out to be a crap law, I can forgive that because you thought it was a good idea.
Right.
But if it was a good idea in 2016 and in 2018 it's the exact same piece of paper
And you vote no?
that's different. That means you're not voting.
But what does that also mean?
Means you're in somebody's pocket.
Yes.
It's not about us. It's about you and your cafeteria and your barbershop and all your amenities that
And
Congress
whoever
gets.
is being like...
Yeah, it's K Street. It's all the lobbyists in K Street. It's all those guys down there that are going, no, let's not do that. Well, by the way, here's some campaign funds.
Yeah,
we'll
exactly.
We'll donate to your cause.
Yeah. How about donating to our cause? The cause of the American people.
Well,
I'm really kind of growing tired of Congress altogether, even though they're ours
We
right
can't
now.
make the rules for the people.
Yeah, yes, we can. Every time we go vote, we give them, we make them
If
change
they
the rules.
count.
If they count, yeah. Well, if we're not stealing the election from Hillary.
Yeah.
oh, that's so ridiculous. But funny though, I like it. Yeah, it's just really amazement to see. I think Congress and senators really should have a term limit, even though
They should.
Oh, I wholeheartedly agree.
That was one of the things Trump said he wanted to get in was term limits.
Hey, that's and you know just I know he hasn't mentioned it, but doesn't
For a
mean
while.
it doesn't mean he's not planning it.
He's only like 6 months in, so
See, you got to understand. I've been one of the things I've noticed
he's
about
already
Trump.
changed a lot of stuff. So
Yeah, one thing I noticed about Trump, he tells you what he's going to do, but he doesn't keep talking about it. It just a month later, it just pops up and it's on its way to getting done.
like the whole thing with the travel ban, and Supreme Court was like, "Oh, it's passed," and then Hawaii rose their hand again and was like, "Oh, we're still going to repeal it," and then the Supreme Court was like, "We're shutting you down. We're letting it pass."
Right. But he just because they derail him at the beginning, he never really stops. I'm sure there's somebody right now. There's probably a room full of lawyers working on a new travel ban if this one should get stopped.
right, exactly.
No,
And
this
I
one already-
guarantee you, right now there's a whole bunch of guys working on the wall.
His travel ban went into effect like 2 weeks ago. Like
Well,
it went through.
My point is, since he's not a politician, he doesn't have to keep parading out his progress.
No.
Obama and even Bush and all of them are like, look what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're doing this for everybody.
And
Even
then
though
it
they
just-
never quite do it.
And
but,
they stall, and then all of a sudden it's
Oh,
like,
George went down.
oh,
yeah, they stall until like it's like a year before the next re-election, and then they're like,
Oh, we gotta do
we're going to
something."
pass a whole bunch of stuff.
yeah, they're always working towards something. Trump is just like, here's what I've done. I know I didn't talk about it a week ago because I was busy working on it.
Right.
You know, we're going to turn around and there's going to be 200 miles of wall up while they're busy talking about Russian collusion.
On his
You
son.
know?
Yeah.
Being
well,
like his son, oh yeah, his son went and talked to some Russian person and didn't get anything. Okay,
But they're
that's collusion, but they're like, you can't collude. You're not a part of any politics.
If he's not part of the government, he can't collude. He's just visiting.
Right, exactly.
You know?
Talking with people.
But I mean, but my point is, Trump doesn't always show you what he's doing. He doesn't need to show you his progress to make you to feel good about him. He's that confident. He's like, okay, we're doing this, and back here I got guys working on this, and when they're ready, I'm going to show you that this is done. He's not going, oh, we're working on this. He's
Right.
like, we worked on this.
well, no, we're finished with it.
and then he might say a comment about what I'm going to do next.
Yeah, and it's always like, it's coming up. It's going to be big. It's going to be a big surprise. It's going to be glorious. He's always winning big.
Right.
I love that.
That's
what I
why
love.
that was
It's
one of
almost
the
getting
things.
boring. He's right. All this winning is almost getting boring.
I know. Are you tired of winning? You know, you're going to say, paraphrase, but he's like, you're going to get tired of me
Winning all the time.
Winning all the time, Mr. President. Can we stop winning? And I'm going to say no. We're going to win even more.
But I
you
like
know?
that attitude, and that's what drives the left crazy because winning is competition. Competition is unfair.
Yeah.
So what happened to the G20 summit? What leaders badmouthed him?
Everybody bowed down.
Well, I
No.
think
But
I think
Angela Merkel.
well, yeah.
Everybody else was, let's make deals. Let's make deals.
well, that's because politicians are if nothing, they are one thing. They know where their bread is buttered, and if they see a strong president doing things that's going to help them make themselves look good to
They're people.
people and help them get reelected, they're going to jump on his bandwagon.
Like
they
the-
might test him, but they're going to be like, well, he's
You
going to do
either
this.
oppose him,
Yeah.
and get frowned upon by the world, or I
But
I
they're
go
gonna-
along with his agenda and then I get praised,
But if working with Trump helps their self-interest, they'll do it.
I mean, Poland
Just-
out of nowhere. Look at Poland. They came out of nowhere and said, finally, someone is acknowledging us, and they're going to be the new Germany. Watch.
They had a rally for Trump when he got
Yeah,
there,
exactly.
and they're all
American
chanting-
flags
yeah.
everywhere. People are
It's just like-
USA.
A couple little things about Poland I was reading and I found amazing. They are one of the few countries that have accepted no refugees.
How about
Yes.
that?
And guess what? They don't have an out-of-control sexual assault problem in
Do
their
you
country.
hear any
or terrorist
attacks?
attacks.
Or
Exactly.
terrorist attacks.
Thank you.
You know?
Thank you. But continue,
One other thing I want to point out, in case anybody's listening, I saw this. We've all seen the clip of the First Lady of Poland reaching out, shaking Ivanka's
Yes,
hand,
listen.
and Trump giving her a kind of a weird look.
Because he wanted to shake the president's hand
Yeah.
first.
And then they said, "Oh, look, she snubbed Trump because she hates him." They stopped the clip right there. But if you watch the whole clip, just 2 seconds later, she turns to Trump and shakes his hand.
Yes.
Okay. Why she shook the first lady's hands first, I don't know if that's protocol. I think you always
It's
shake.
probably.
I don't know.
You let the presidents.
Yeah, the
meet
presidents
first.
meet, the first ladies meet, then they exchange.
Then they exchange.
President shakes first lady of opposite country and vice versa. She did not snub him, but they cut that video, and that's always MSNBC and CNN's tactic. They took a clip and they chopped the end off to make it look like she walked past the president
And then they
snubbed
produced
him.
it that way.
And that's how they viewed it. And everybody thinks that, but it's just 3 more seconds of video changes the entire
and then you
narrative.
have the Poland president comes out. It
And
was
he-
like,
yeah.
it was not like
He
that.
tweeted that, and he came out and did a little bit.
And did a little interview about it. And was
Yeah.
like, it
And did
wasn't
you
like
hear
that.
that
We
anywhere?
didn't snub
No,
him.
well, no, you're not going to hear that.
You didn't see that on CNN.
That's perfect. I mean, it's a perfect segue about other Trump's achievements that you do not hear. ISIS. When's the last time you heard about ISIS? Because they're getting blown out the damn.
Because they're down to a square mile in
Exactly.
is it Mosul?
Yeah,
Mosul.
well,
Down to a square mile in Mosul.
and they only have a few pockets of resistance around the outlying countries.
But do you realize just a couple of years ago they were
were
on the
rampant.
verge of
They
taking
were-
over all of Iraq?
And you want to know who was doing the heavy body work of this?
The Iraqis, isn't it?
No.
Are we still there?
We're kind of there.
I know we got about 8,000 troops
Yeah,
in Iraq.
We had definitely have boots on
The
ground.
person,
supposed to,
or the country that's
special ops.
bodying the most of it is
Yeah.
Russia.
Really? See, I haven't really looked into too much the whole ISIS thing because they were kind of disappearing. They weren't really news.
Well, yeah, they're getting
But-
wiped off the face of the earth. That's why.
But could you imagine if Obama was still in office, the accolades and the parades he'd be getting for this?
No, ISIS would be running rampant.
No, I'm saying if the same thing was happening.
Oh, if they were getting defeated
If
by
they were getting
Obama,
defeated,
yeah.
he'd be up there going, "I saved all of us."
He'll probably have
But look,
a
you don't hear nothing about it on the news because it's Trump's in office.
exactly.
Yes.
And this should be, on every broadcast, including stupid Fox News, which is I watch them, yes, just because I can't stand any other
And
news
like
broadcast.
every other week, they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, we killed another ISIS leader.
Yeah, exactly.
Killed another leader. Oh, he's
I mean,
just blew up."
they took out the main dude already, and they're just taking out the rest of the generals. I mean, this should be all over the place, on the streets everywhere. Trump has defeated ISIS. And unlike George Bush, where it said mission accomplished. On the boat. I mean,
Yeah, that was a little premature.
exactly.
I mean, it was entertaining. I actually cheered because I bought into it, but yeah.
Right, exactly. Now we should have the banners and everything else. Mission accomplished. We beat the
Not
crap
yet.
out of them.
Not yet.
It's not mission accomplished till every one of those goat humping freaks are just are
Absolutely
off to heaven.
Yeah, or wherever.
Wherever, well, their heaven. Believe me,
They're all
their
right.
heaven's not the heaven I want to go to.
But another one, S&P 500, the highest in history ever.
Not
It's because he's
Yeah, exactly.
all about business.
S&P
But,
500.
and CNN and MSNBC are all about not reporting the good
Right.
stuff.
$100 billion less in debt, national debt. That's
Just
another.
after,
That's
like,
another big accomplishment.
That was
we
after
don't
like the
hear.
first month. Like he trimmed it down to where it was just.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
Obama
you know why,
doubled-
right? Because
Obama
he's
doubled
making
our debt.
Exactly.
And-
well,
and that- if
almost
that was-
More than doubled.
and
Well, it
then
went from
raised-
19 to 20, right?
Yeah.
Or 9 to 20.
It was at seven
Seven?
trillion to
Yeah.
about 19.
Yeah.
and then raise the debt ceiling because they don't want to be looking like the bad guys.
We raised it like 10 times during his presidency.
Right, exactly. But that's okay, right? Because we love teaching our kids that if you're in debt, just keep going.
Keep going.
Yeah,
Don't have to
try
worry
that
about
with
it.
your credit cards at home. See how that goes for you.
But
I actually have called NASA to raise my debt ceiling a little bit, and they've always told me no.
Oh, how about that? Because they're loving. But anyways,
Because they know I can't afford it.
no. But it's these type of stories that you don't hear on the news, and only the alternative media, like ourselves, is broadcasting this.
Well, it's because you got to go to alternative news sources.
Right, exactly. And it's just really a sad thing to see, especially you would think someone like Fox, who really is like an isolated media source because everybody else is all ultra liberal,
But I can see what Fox is doing. Fox is just going 100% against CNN and putting out the
Right.
other side of the story.
Which I don't know. Those memes are just phenomenal, by the way. Those, Trump versus-
I wish I really knew how to edit videos. I would make them all day. There's so many things out there you could do.
I know. I think it's really amusing myself.
But that's Fox's thing, is to be against MSNBC,
Yeah, but
ABC.
if they really
and
want, if they
CNN.
really want the viewers, they would start talking about the S&P 500, the
Actual news.
Yeah,
If
exactly.
you watch any news, they're not really talking about things that are happening.
Some stupid story about somebody's dog getting stolen out the backyard. Honestly, I don't care about the dog or the person getting their dog stolen. Yeah, it's sad or whatever.
That's local news.
It's local news, but what the hell is it doing on Fox? What's it doing on Dateline NBC or whatever?
They occasionally have to do a human interest piece. I get it.
Yeah, but come on, man.
I don't want to turn into The View, but I don't think they need to.
It's just all media sources are just one-sided, and they're not going to talk about anything else.
The real story, but $100 billion less in debt now. I mean, that's amazing.
It is, and if it was under any other president, the news medias would be. It would be all
orgasming over what do you call?
But the thing is,
we've done it. Love me.
You want to know why they never have this news story when a Democrat's in office? Because the Democrat never lowers the deficit.
He doesn't do nothing. He just sits there and squats on people and says, "Love me," for squatting on you.
And so, another thing that the Democrats are whining about lately is all of Trump's Mar-a-Lago visits. I mean, well, he owns the place, so.
Yes.
I mean, that the thing is, they're trying to sue him.
Because, yes, this is such nonsense.
They're trying to sue him for Mar-a-Lago to see everybody that is going into Mar-a-Lago. They want to see his registry. Because
they're trying to get him under the emollients clause, because they're saying that when a foreign dignitary or a foreign citizen...
President, a foreign, whatever.
Anybody that goes there, that they are trying to curry favor with the president, which is against the law.
Just like Abe from Japan, he went and golfed with Trump at Mar-a-Lago.
Right, and they're saying they do that to curry favor with the president by engracing his business with money because they're doing business there because he's the president.
And it's a foreign money, and then they're going to try to wrap it around to you're getting foreign money at your businesses.
The problem is places like MSNBC and CNN, what they don't tell you, the other part of the clause is it does not include legal commerce.
Oh.
If I was George Washington, I don't know if he owned a farm. I think
he did.
He did. If he owned a farm and
you came out to it,
and somebody from France came out and said, "I want to buy all your wheat or whatever he had," guess what? While he was president, that's legal because he's allowed to conduct business as a private citizen also. Now, if they said, "Hey, I want to come out and buy some of your wheat, but I want to leave you a chest of gold at your house that's got nothing to do with that, and I'm going to be doing something. I'm going to need your help." That's collusion. That's collusion. That's collusion. But if Trump owned a car company, right? They would say, well, anytime a Russian gets in the make of one of Trump's cars,
how dare you say that word?
It's collusion.
It's collusion. It's emollients. They're paying him favors. No, it's just somebody needed to buy a car, and Trump happened to own it. He can own a business and be president. They're separate. He's allowed to conduct legal commerce.
And but before all that, he had his lawyer go up on stage or whatever, I forgot where it was at, and had all the legal documentation. And she was like, "This block here is saying that he relinquished all his legal. Pretty much, it's just name only."
We've got a tower right down here, down on the Strip.
Right.
It's Trump Tower. Okay, yeah, it's got his name on it, but you know what? Since it was probably open, I don't think he's ever been there.
Probably not. Maybe once.
And no one goes there thinking, I'm going to go stay at Trump Tower. President Trump's going to be my buddy.
Right.
No, President Trump's company is going to make a little bit of money, and that's it.
His sons and his daughters run this place now.
And that's how he got that FBI bugging into Trump International Tower in New York is because a Russian guy, a Russian foreign dignitary or whatever.
Well, no, the whole thing, the intelligence agency, I believe, under the direction of somebody really close to Obama, if not Obama himself, said
he had to sign the FISA.
The best way to spy on Trump is to spy on everybody he talks to.
Yeah. Who was it at the time? Clapper and
was it Brenner?
Brenner, yes.
And then Comey lied about the whole thing. Oh, we don't have any FISA warrants.
There's some talk about how Comey has actually broken the law because when he writes a memo, it becomes government document.
It's classified, but he said it's not because it's his own personal.
No, he leaked. He's the government
leaker.
Property.
He is guilty of the Espionage Act.
He said he gave it to a lawyer.
He said it in front of everybody. I watched him say it.
He's like, I gave it to my lawyer to give to the news.
Yes. I'm sorry. If he was working, I don't care. Even if it's his own laptop. It's like the president deems whatever's sensitive material. If President Trump gets a document that says, wow, there really are aliens in Area 51. I'll tell the world. Guess what? He just decided it's no longer classified.
Yes.
Right.
The reverse applies to everybody else. If President Trump brings you in and says, listen, this is,
Here's some information.
Here's some info on, I don't know, pick a movie star or whatever, some idiot issue, and he tells you it's classified. It's classified.
Well,
he doesn't have to.
the whole thing was he didn't say it was classified. That's what he's trying to go
everything
for.
the president says to you in private is considered sensitive.
Yes.
Then if you go out to your car, sit in your limo, and you
then
type it
text
up,
your email.
and then send it in an email, you are now guilty of transmitting
Classified
Sensitive.
information.
sensitive,
yeah.
classified information to a lawyer, to the press, to disseminate into the public, and that is blatantly against the law.
You had top
It's
secret,
obvious.
right? You had top secret, right?
Not top.
Or classified?
I had a
Yes.
classified clearance.
I had a top secret clearance at one time. It's a lot of paperwork.
Oh,
and
boy.
It's a lot of paperwork, and it's a headache, and by the end of it, after they threaten you a gazillion times, it's
Threaten you? Oh, I can tell you stories.
It's just not-
frightening. It's a little bit scary.
it's just not worth it. I put it. It's just
So,
not worth it.
This whole thing is like, if you were to go to your CEO and he's like, I'm going to be planning to build all of these things, if you relinquish that information to you,
It's like a confidentiality agreement.
Yeah.
but you're not signing anything, but he's like, we're going to
This
start
is
building.
confidential.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just the meeting.
Right. Just the
It's
meeting.
like, whatever you write down in this thing, you can't
You
give it
can't
out.
share. Comey can't share his conversations with the president unless the president gives him permission to do so.
He didn't.
And he didn't. And that just now if all this was reversed, if it was a Democratic president and a Republican operative as the director of the FBI, all hell would have broke loose. There'd be perp walks.
But no, it was Comey.
But it was Comey, and
And he's
It's
already
okay.
under a microscope.
he should be behind bars.
Well,
There's a lot of them over there.
He's pretty much done as far as him.
I think. I mean,
But he-
can
but
they
he-
use the RICO Act on these people?
Oh, I've never thought of that, but it does sound like what little bit I know about it, just from TV. It does.
Law and Order.
It's like Comey, Loretta, Clinton's,
Rice.
Rice,
Well, it's definitely a conspiracy. I mean,
Podesta,
well,
everybody.
it's a cabal.
It's
Well,
a
I
huge
mean,
group of them.
it is, but
And then you can loop in Tim Kaine in this as well. And just-
Yeah, Tim Kaine, what a Looney Tune. Have you listened to some of the things he said?
Yeah.
I can't even repeat them. It's just
well,
like,
just watch some of like Hillary sings with Tim Kaine in the background.
he looks like the
Like,
Joker.
what the heck is going on?
He
with
looks
him?
like the Joker.
he was a little hilarious.
It's like, what the heck?
I have to say, politics in this country really has changed. It used to be so stuffy and formal, and
Right.
now it is just the WWE.
That's a good one, by the
It
way.
really
The
has
Trump
become-
meme is.
Well, it's,
Oh wait, that's right.
did you? Let me ask this question.
I didn't put that together. I didn't. That wasn't on purpose. It was just that was natural humor.
So, did you watch any of like the presidential debates during Obama and Bush?
I probably did, but it's been so long. Why? Was there something I could remember?
No. What about Obama versus McCain?
Okay.
Obama and McCain? You watch any of those?
No.
Okay.
No, I think I had something important to do, like sleep
Yeah.
or.
Exactly.
Eat.
This was my first time actually like
I
sitting down and watching
No,
all of them.
You're right. I think this last election cycle was probably the most intriguing. I mean, people.
Well, for everybody, even the people who weren't really involved in politics, were coming out the woodwork just to see the spectacle.
Yeah, it was well, it was. I think it was a little bit of entertainment value because let's face it was going to be a little explosive. We knew that with Trump being involved. I mean, I was in Santa Monica when he did an appearance at the Lux.
I watched the very first thing when he came down in his tower.
Yeah, I do remember that too. And I remember I went and saw him, in person at an event, and he is that guy. I mean, he has tightened up his rhetoric a little bit. He's a little bit more. He speaks a little bit more like a politician, in the sense that he doesn't just speak off the cuff like he used to. I mean,
He still does every
But
now and then.
sorry, my eyes are burning for some reason. But the debates were entertaining, but I think the other underlying thing is we all knew how important it was.
Mm-hmm.
When everybody in this country was either, boy, I really hope Hillary wins, or oh my God, Hillary can't win.
Right.
None of us that were opposed to Hillary were mildly opposed to her.
No, it was all or nothing.
I mean, I've hated her since the 90s. I mean, I've hated her since she came on scene. There's something about her. she's the kind of woman that it's easy to not like.
Well,
Even when she was younger and nicer and the first lady,
it's-
she
it's-
was pleasant.
It's
I didn't like
it's
her.
it's the vibe that she puts off.
Well,
know?
it's the elitist,
and then
I hate you vibe.
and that goes way into depth for a story for another day. But anyways, I'd just like to thank all the viewers, listeners out there who's shared our stuff, who's watching right now. Last video we've got over 600 views. For us, that's phenomenal. You know.
And if you're watching us, hit the share button, send it to your friends, and just get it out there. Maybe we'll have a contest. The first, we'll
Yeah, we gotta figure out how to
1,000
play.
people.
Yeah.
We'll pick somebody that watches us regularly, and we'll send you a shirt. I don't know.
Our first one to 500 likes, we'll give a shirt out.
There you go.
Every 100 likes, we'll just give a shirt out.
All right, sounds good. We'll get a little bit more.
We'll work out the details.
Yeah.
We'll try not to lose our shirt in the deal, so to speak.
Right.
But we were talking about Hillary. Hillary has been an unlikable public figure since I can remember, and I really enjoy a world where she's not in charge.
Well, I mean, she just needs to give it up.
wants to
Her
be
own
done.
party wants her just to go away. Enough's enough already, And
Well,
they,
their party is split as well.
well, they
Actually, I think they're more split than we realize.
oh, I think they're
Because the Bernie side is still upset that deep down they know they got cheated out of the primary.
yeah.
They know it.
know.
I'd be willing to bet that the leaks to WikiLeaks from Podesta and all that, I think that was a Bernie supporter that just said, "Oh yeah, watch this."
Well, it was.
His name was Seth Rich.
yeah.
Well, you know what I'm saying. It can't be just him. It's more. I think he paid the ultimate price for.
He did.
Yeah. But they won't talk about that, and I
Oh,
don't.
and then there was actually just recently one of a person that was supposed to give out a whole bunch of information about the charity stuff that they have down in Puerto Rico or something like that. Their charity, Hillary Clinton's.
the foundations works.
The foundation works. Yeah, he was going to give out a whole bunch of information. Never got out, but he just died. They said he killed himself.
There's a lot of suicides associated with the Clinton family.
Yeah, that's just deaths. Yeah.
I read something, and I swear I hate
They have
gossip.
a book. They have a book about it.
I don't subscribe to the gossip or the unsubstantiated rumor, but this one's too good. Webster Hubble, you know that name?
Oh, that's Chelsea's real dad.
Chelsea's real dad, and I
Yeah.
saw some pictures, and I never heard it before until just recently.
Really? Oh, that's been
I don't really
circulating
care
for a while.
about Chelsea Clinton at
Well,
all.
I don't either. Her ugly
I mean, I do
buck
rem-
teeth. But anyways, I'm not putting her down as a person.
No.
It's just it's just.
But I'm sorry, I have a
She
thing
gets
for-
an award for going to the bathroom. I mean, come on, man, this is
But
ridiculous.
I'm all about faces.
Yeah.
You and I have talked. I have a ironclad memory for faces. If I saw you 30 years ago and I see you again, I'll remember it. I may not know who you are, but I'll know I know
Just
you.
like the other week.
Just like I met somebody from high school at 4th of July. I spotted him right away. I hadn't seen him since 1981. I knew who he was. Anyway, I looked at those. I looked at those pictures of Chelsea, Hubble, and Clinton and Hillary. And guess what? If I had to say, Bill's not her dad.
oh
I'm
man,
sorry.
you just more.
And she's got,
more
and even after she's had her nose fixed to look less like her real dad's nose.
Yeah, exactly.
Her bio dad's nose. And I don't really care if that's.
It doesn't matter, but just come out with it. We all know that.
Well, in a sense, it is their private business.
It is, but I mean, at the same
But
time,
that's what
you
they all wanna
are
know about Trump.
no, but they are in the public eye.
And they are the kettle constantly calling the pot black.
Exactly.
They're
and
constantly talking about how everyone else should live up to their standards, and he is a misogynistic adulterer. She is a conniving, possibly
Liar.
lesbian. There's a lot of rumors going around about that. And please don't
and
sue
at
me.
the same time, who
'cause
cares?
I'm just
But come
reporting-
out. You probably win the vote.
They don't need
instant,
to.
Yeah, they can't let themselves be seen as the very people they claim to despise. They hate all us because we're such trash.
But
Right.
at this point,
But they're from, okay, come on, they're from Arkansas. Okay, I drove through Arkansas. Okay, I love Arkansas, but
Man.
man, That's
Man.
That's really I can say. Man.
that's where their troubles began.
I mean,
Yeah.
they have connections with the Dixie Mafia. Folks, look that up. I mean,
It's not a thing from TV. It's real.
It's real. Exactly. I mean, horrible people. The Clintons are stealing money from the poor
There's
Haitians.
more dead people around the Clintons family than
Oh, that's what it was. It was a guy down that was representing Haitian or Haitian.
Haitian.
Yeah.
Well, they were
80?
supposed to build a hospital down there, and if you talk to a Haitian, they hate the Clintons because they collected millions of dollars for
Yeah.
relief in Haiti.
Zero.
And he was going to
Zero.
release. This guy was going to release all that information about that, and,
Good,
and all of
he
a sudden
needs
they're
to.
like he
Well,
committed
he's
suicide.
dead.
Oh,
He's
oh,
dead
He
now.
committed suicide.
How about that? What a coincidence.
Just
that
like the
never
guy-
happens.
What about the Gustafer 1.0 guy? I mean, that
Yeah.
released
Oh,
all
yeah.
that DNC stuff,
He-
and then
he
all of a
just-
sudden they're
he
like,
disappeared.
he committed suicide in his jail cell.
Yeah.
It's like,
What?
okay,
No, he got. You know what happened? The same thing that Hillary wanted to do to Assange. Drone strike them.
why can't we drone him?
Yeah, I'm sure she said it just like that. Like, not like
Like
a joke.
Nonchalant. You know, oh, I took out Gaddafi. Why don't we just do the same thing to
But I mean, I'm
Assange?
sure
Just
she
drone
said
him.
it. I'm sure she said it in a way not like, oh, we should just drone them. But she said it like, can't we just drone them? Like, I don't
Like,
see a problem.
Don't think about it, just do it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I don't see a
exactly.
problem.
Send
Why
a
haven't-
Reaper missile right into his
Why
house.
haven't we done it already? I'd have done this hours ago if I was in charge. You know?
Right, right.
It's like,
You guys over there BSing. Anyways, folks, we're going.
Hey, it's a family show. We're like family. We're like in your living room.
Yeah, we're going to wrap up the show for the night. We sort of went on some tangents there, but
I'll get
you
back
know,
to this next week. It's all relevant. It's stuff that lasts forever.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. I
it
had
just keeps getting
another.
worse.
There'll be more. The stack just gets higher.
Right,
My,
exactly.
my little stack of stuff.
Exactly.
Until something dramatic happens, it's like,
It'll go to the top. But this will always be here.
Yeah, right. But check out the shirts, please. My shirt as well. Live free or die. That's what I really believe in. With the magnificent fighting eagle
why
on
the
there.
3 stars?
3 stars because it looks cool.
Okay.
I don't know. I picked 3 stars, man.
Okay.
Hey,
Tell
don't
us
give
what-
don't give the designer a hard time.
What about
Yeah,
that's
1776?
creative
What
license.
is that? Tell our viewers.
1776?
I don't know.
If you have to tell our viewers what 1776 means, they're not our viewers.
Well, inform them if they don't know.
Really?
Just saying.
241 years ago? On July 4th?
Not
No,
just
okay.
fireworks.
Yeah, there will be a quiz later. Pay attention.
Yeah. Anyways, check out the shirts. We're gonna update the store. We're gonna get rid of that Zazzle site, our third party site that we were going through for a while. Update it with our own shirts that we've been printing, and so the cause of that is because Zazzle was pretty much ripping us off, which in turn ripped you off.
Well, they want to make a profit.
You are,
Well, they want
exactly.
to make a bigger profit than we are willing to live with, and they really don't like the way their name sounds.
Yeah, exactly. Zazzle. But anyways, we're gonna have our shirts on there, and we're gonna have them at a cheaper cost coming to you, so you can purchase them, support the broadcast, and support the Liberty Movement. So,
All right.
yeah, check out the site stanshow.com. One of our newest crew members, actually, Aaron, who's been uploading the videos, adding the tags and everything, so we can get them out there. So much appreciate his hard work and his dedication to the cause and the broadcast. And you know, we are expanding. We need more people. It's just we just need it at the right time. You know, so
And we're still working on getting back to the radio, which will still stream from the radio, so it will become a more scheduled thing instead of it starting just whenever we get our.
On Tuesday.
It'll still be a Tuesday, but we don't know.
we don't know. Our schedule could change. Times might change, but you know,
It'll be in the evening
We
because
will, yeah, exactly. I think I like the evenings. You know, it gives a lot more everybody a chance to relax. And again, you can watch these videos whenever you want. Facebook holds on to them as an archive. Then, in case Facebook decides to kick us off, like they did a couple of my personal friends already. You know, we'll have them on our site as backups, along with all the YouTube videos that aren't on our Facebook site.
you never know. The Facebook police might show up, kick in our door, and take us all off to Facebook jail
Yeah,
because they don't agree with our views.
right, exactly.
And they have been known to silence voices that they don't like. And if you hear of any of those, let us know, and we'll talk about them on Facebook.
Well, I do have a couple. I'm just trying to build them up.
Well, I want to. If they shut down a conservative voice, we need to know so that we can tell people about it. So those people can tell people about it, and then maybe enough
Word
of
of
an
mouth.
outcry will come out, and then Facebook will. They'll never succumb to our pressure from us because let's face it, they're billionaires,
Yeah.
and they don't
Yeah.
care what we think.
Right,
But
exactly.
I care what you think, and you care what we think, and we're all on the same page, and we got to look out for each other because our little conservative world does shrink media-wise.
Right.
They do try to corral us in and keep us from talking to each other because we know that there's more of us than of them.
Oh, absolutely. You're not alone, ladies and gentlemen. You are not alone. I promise you that. Look at the videos of the rallies that we've been to, that we shared. You know, I mean, even though there's not hundreds of people, there are people in the double digits. So that should just show you, you know, a small percentage of actually who's out there.
And these are people who have taken time off from work to go to these. Not everybody can do that. It's very tough. Some of us have flexible schedules. Some of us don't. The problem with being a conservative is you're generally working when other people are trying to tear down your world.
Absolutely. So, for The Stand, this is Shane Williams, George Porter, Lance Dobbs, taking the stand for liberty. I suggest you do the same thing because it's really coming down to...
Just because we're winning right now doesn't mean we're going to win.
Right.
You got to assume the enemy is hot on your heels.
Exactly.
So everybody, good night. Have a good weekend.
Keep fighting the fight.
Even if it's a little bit.
Right. Take the stand for liberty, ladies and gentlemen. Standshow.com. Good night.
Good night.
I know that went through.
Did you turn it off already?
It froze.
When?
It's lagging like hardcore. All right, there you are. You're on it now. Say it again.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, sorry about that. We had a little connection issue. Take the stand for liberty, standshow.com. Fight the fight because you're not alone.
Good night.
Good night.